All right, ma'am, moving to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call.
Okay, all right. Hank Hosel,
Present.
Leora Pender,
Here.
Ryan McDyka,
Here.
Laura Schlicker, here. Karina Sharmanoff, here. Mike Stefanowski.
He is absent with approved.
Okay. Ron Lynch,
Sitting next to you.
Kelly Ruffin on here.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. I see one little thing misspelled under the public comment where it says Maine, not Maine. Anyone else have anything else?
Yeah. I make it up, oh my goodness, a motion to accept agenda with corrections as noted by President Mendyka.
So. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, we're on to public comment. Public comment, it's 10:01 a.m. What?
Approval.
I'm sorry. Oh, God. Gosh, I can't even read. I apologize. Well, the minutes for April 28th. So,
Chairman, if I may make a suggestion prior to your approval,
yes, ma'am.
there are a number of motions that were made. It appears that there were motions that were made and supported, and apparently a vote was taken, but the vote itself was not recorded. And I would like to suggest that that happens prior to your approval of the minutes.
Yes, ma'am. I agree that it does need to be noted that the motions were passed or not.
I would suggest so.
Yes.
The fourth and fifth bullet down need to be indicated whether they were approved or
Passed or not?
Yeah.
motion carried or was denied, whichever.
Mhm.
And then under presentations, the last bullet, the inset bullet. Then on the following page, under the treasurer's report. And
Yep.
the under new business, the first bullet is, it says the subject came up, but it, excuse me, but it doesn't indicate what direction it went, if it did in fact.
Business. I'm sorry, Carolyn, we're at new business first bullet point? No.
The first one was the fourth bullet point down on the agenda. I'm sorry.
Under the new business bullet.
Approval of agenda, motion to approve.
He's got those. What he was asking is, you made a reference under the new business part.
Second page.
Under new business, it says movement of ACPOA equipment without written authorization from the board of directors and executive directors. Is that good, bad, or indifferent?
Okay, so we definitely need clarification on that.
It would seem to me that it's followed up by is not approved, may not happen by any, whatever.
Okay.
But thank you.
Thank you. Well, due to those changes, I don't think we can really approve these without these changes being in writing, I would believe.
Mhm.
So we'll have to reprint those, submit them for the next month, and then approve them, and then.
Yeah, I'll send Mike an email when we get out of here, because he's the one that
Yep.
who did this.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's that. And then moving on to public comment. Public comment be limited to 2 minutes per person. Please state your name and the township where you're from. Is anybody in the audience would like to speak?
please step
I'm
on up.
here to make public comment.
Sure.
I'm Denise Bear, Bearre. I'm the director of the library, and I just come to help make you aware of we're going for a millage in August 4th. It will be a renewal and an increase, so it will be from 0.5 mils to 0.75 mils. And because of building costs, which I'm sure you're aware of, going up, and staff costs also going up, we feel the need to increase the amount we get. I brought brochures on that and a report of what we did. If you're interested, I'll put them out on the table or I'll pass them out. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Any other public comment? Okay, public comment closed at 10:06. Moving on to presentations, is there an NEMSCA representative in the house? No. Carolyn, you're up. You have anything for us?
I do. First of all, I'd like to go ahead and pass out the fair flyer, and feel free to take more than one, share, encourage your friends and neighbors to come, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing that I would like to share with all of you is a map. Unfortunately, I only have a map of Cedar Lake, but and if you want, you can get this in a laminated form so it could go in your boat and it doesn't disintegrate with the first drop of water that gets on it. If you will turn to the side where it has the mapped complements of at the very top. And then over on the right-hand side, if you look into the portion that's blue, the lake itself, you'll see an EA1. That's Emergency Access 1. And then it goes on down through to 5, all on the east side of the lake. What this does is if you are on the lake and have a medical emergency, you can call 911. You look at your map, your laminated map, if you have one in your vehicle, in your boat. You can look and see, oh, I'm closest to whatever, and say, we will meet you at emergency access 2 or 3 or whatever it may be. One can only imagine if you had no way of mutually deciding where you were going to meet up with this ambulance. So this would allow you to be the most direct route to the ambulance when they do arrive. So as I said, if you do boat at all on Cedar Lake, please feel free to call ACCOA. You see an address there, email address, and ask them to send you a laminated copy, or I will facilitate that if I can. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. As I said, to my knowledge, there is not such a map that exists for Hubbard Lake. So,
do they have phone access? I mean, can you get, can you use your phone? Do you get?
well, I don't know.
Oh,
Because if your phone can't reach land, so it's dependent upon your phone.
oh,
But in theory, you would pick up your cell phone and dial 911.
right. But in a lot of places in Greenbush, you can't get
That's a whole separate issue.
service.
That's a separate issue.
Dolores,
Oh,
if I may, if you dial 911 from an inactive phone, it will go through.
Yeah.
Is my
right. I know, but I meant, can you get service?
Yeah.
It would,
Should push
911 would go through, I think, regardless.
Yeah, so I don't know how they do it.
Right. Yeah, it goes through even if it's not an active phone, no service, 911 will go through.
I have property on that lake, and the
Oh.
cell phone service works very well on the inside of the lake. You can swim across the lake, it's pretty small, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, but I mean, you could if you're a swimmer.
Well, I know on 23, there's several places that you don't have service.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this was an attempt to facilitate a faster, speedier access to the ambulance. And much of it, I think probably 51+%, depends on your phone.
Right.
But you're right, there are areas that cannot.
And down the line, executive director's report.
All right. The first thing I have is we served in the month of April 1,973 home delivered meals, 406 congregate meals, so a total of 2,379 meals. For our in-home service, we have 12 people on our waiting list because we did lose a direct care worker who is moving out of the state. Patty and I did start interviewing for that position last week, so hopefully we can get somebody slid in there right away. Our gym memberships, we have roughly 400 members and we've sold 521 dances in total. We served our first lunch last Friday and it went well. We had 14 people. And this Friday we'll do it again. We'll kind of go from there to see how our lunch is going versus our dinners. If we decide we want to flip over.
So if you were to compare numbers between lunches and dinners, you had 14 lunches. What do you typically see
For dinners?
For dinners?
On a Friday night.
We don't serve on Fridays.
Well, that's true.
Oh, it was a lot better on Friday lunch than it was Friday dinner.
Ask Leroy, usually 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
Yeah, in a range.
Those are that's our norm.
Well, that's
it
what I-
depends. I mean, on a normal night, it depends what we have. There's nights, there's things that they really love, and sometimes there's 30 people here.
Just looking for an
So,
average. So
yeah.
what I'm hearing is this is performing better
Just on
and
the
serving
first day.
more people than it is in the evening meals.
So
Okay.
the one meal.
Yeah, I get it. It's one
Yeah.
data point,
Yeah.
but
So, the gym master, Janet has started entering the names, so we're hoping to have that all up and running, full force by the beginning of June. We did get the square. Mike is coming today to show us how to use that. That would be for this side of the building, the credit card machine. The gym master side or the gym side, everything is built right into the gym master. The payment process is built into the gym master for that side. Let's see. In the month of April, we brought in just shy of $5,000 for rentals for different events that went on in the. So that's not really too shabby, I didn't think.
in fact, I think that was above your budgeted allotment.
Yep. Really good. On Friday, June 12th, we're having our mandatory all staff meeting. We have to have 2 a year for NEMSCA guidelines. I'm just wondering if anybody would want to volunteer to sit at the front desk from like 8 to 11:30.
I will.
You will? Okay, thank you, Kelly. Otherwise, we have to shut down for that. We normally are, during our previous all staffs, we had to shut the building down. Thank you. And the gym hours. I've sat with Janet and Brielle last week and the week before. We're roughly seeing about 4 to 6 people in here every night from 7 to 9, and that's it. Sometimes 1 or 2. So I'm wondering if it would be possible to change our gym hours for the evenings, at least for the summer, until 8 p.m. Friday, we'd still stay open a little later because we have cornhole on Fridays. And they're usually here till 9:30, 10. I mean, we could actually keep the gym open to the public till that time because they're here anyway. So, um, so I'm gonna propose that. And then on May 12th, we had our first kitchen audit in this new building. It went pretty well. There's a lot of changes with the nutritional guidelines. So building menus is totally different now. The things that we can serve is totally different. I mean, it's not totally different, but there's a lot of more specific guidelines with everything is really broke down. So Shay's been working with Janet, who's the nutritionist from NEMSCA, and also with our rep at Gordon Foods. I'm sure all of the COAs have been, because we have to build new menus now. So once I think a lot of the COAs get menus built, we can start sharing stuff, or stuff will be already built out on like Gordon's website. So that'll be much helpful. The charging station got hooked up for the electric van. We're just waiting to hear for delivery on that. Dolores, your basketball hoop is ordered and it's shipped, so that should be here sometime this week. So then we can get a hold of Alex.
Help put it
Yep.
together.
Yep. So, and that was $900 total out the door with
Good.
shipping. There was 0 shipping, so yep. It was brought to my attention from NEMSCA again about moving the generator, so just wanted to make you aware of that. I just got this morning, but I wanted you to just be aware. I asked AJ just to give me a quote on the erosion around the pond in building number 8 or bungalow number 8, because every single time it rains, that lawn is deteriorating. The gap between the pond and the house is getting smaller. Now there's a tree that the erosion is so bad, it's starting to uproot the tree. And that was $1,200. So just wanted to throw that out.
What's that bid for?
This is just for number 8 doing the work, so number 8 doesn't fall into the retention pond and the tree.
What does it gotta do to make sure it doesn't happen? That's pretty cheap to.
Bring in more dirt to fix out areas have washed out around the pond in front of the house. Lay erosion mat and plant new seed to hold everything in place. We'll install a temporary shelf watering system that will be timed to make sure our seed takes to avoid any future problems. So, but every single time it rains, more and more get destroyed back there. So actually last week he brought his skid steer and started moving some of the bigger rocks just to slow some of that water down. I had him remove some of the rocks out front because that's also costing us more money because he has to weed whip around every single rock out there, and he can't really get the mower. Well, he has to do push mowing. So instead of paying for more rock, he just took some of the larger rocks, put them just as to slow the process down until we figure out what we want to do back there, or what we were going to be able to afford to do.
It's really hard for him to give a quote and then what if it doesn't work?
Right.
We get a torrential storm like we did in the beginning of the spring and then it doesn't work and it all all ends up in the pond down there. Then what?
And every time it rains, it just continuously does more damage.
Is there any way we could put like some drains going underground and end up out here someplace?
Well, that's what he said should have been done in the first place, really. There should have been drains going underground into that pond. That's what the pond is there for. But there's not any. Now it just flows down the hill and washes down the road, and in between house 6 and 7, it's just eroded all of that away. I mean, number 5 lost her sidewalk because it eroded all underneath it.
So I don't know if this is the time to address it or not, but what I'd like to see done is let's grab 2 or 3 different companies to come out. It's bigger than just looking at resolving that one issue. We still need to look at the neighboring property to see how those are draining. I went up after you and I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still not convinced that we don't have erosion issues because of the contributing factor of both neighbors draining down the property. In fact, you can even see it on the hillside where it's eroding down onto the service or the access road. So yeah, contact 2 or 3 to get them out here and walk the area with them and just say, look, what are your recommendations for helping us resolve this?
Yeah, I can get a hold of Sarah and have her come down too, and she might even have the name of some other people too.
Yeah, so like, you know, I gave you Lincoln Sand and Gravel, if we reach out to Charbonneau, just so that we could get ideas. I mean, that guy said he wants to haul in dirt. If we've got erosion that's ended up in the retention pond, we can reclaim that with a mini excavator and put it back in place. But it's I like the idea of, hey, he's got to seed it and then put a timer on so we can at least water the stuff to get it going.
Right.
But yeah, when I was back there, it's just bare topsoil. I mean, why we thought it wasn't going to erode is beyond me.
It was under snow.
Now, is this bill on us, or is the management company gonna help this at all, or anything like that, or what? How does this work out?
Well, if it
all
goes
out of
to the
our
management company, it comes out of our fees. So this is our bill.
Sweet. All right.
You can go after Andy, but
That's all I get.
can you have somebody collect data and one would think it'd be a quick report out of that new gym system we have, but we should be able to see times of usage and number of clients during that time. So you could put a Pareto together that shows us, hey, between 8, 9 in the morning, X people use it, 9 to 10, Y people use it, and go through there. And then you can look at it. It makes it very easy to make decisions along the lines of what you're trying to do. That says, hey, you know what? There really isn't anybody here from 8 to 9. Why are we open?
Right.
So I don't know if that that new gym system does that.
I'm sure.
If it doesn't as a
sign it.
Yeah, but if it doesn't as of yet, could you just have who's ever manning the desk, just have a sheet in front of them with times on the top and just have them put a tick mark, just so we have data that would say, here's why we're making that decision.
Well, that's what we did. We just pulled out the sheet, like the sign-in.
Okay,
sheet.
so that's got times on it.
We looked at the sign-in sheets, and probably for the last month between 7 and 9, you can see there's like 4 to 6 people
Perfect,
that
so we
are
got
coming
that
in.
data.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we
Yeah.
figured that out. And then Brielle had said, a lot of times from 8 to 9, there's only one guy that comes in here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking, why are we open for?
But it was similar to the discussion that happened with when we started opening on Saturdays between X and Y. We should have that same data
We
that
do.
tells us
And
how many people are really using it on a
that's
Saturday.
really gone down too. We're lucky to get 20 people in here on a Saturday right now, so,
But that's a little bit bigger number than
yeah.
7. So,
Yeah.
okay.
That could change in the winter time too.
Well, I think it does in the
Yeah.
winter. I think now though, people are,
Well, it's
you know,
getting
more
nice
people
outside.
are outside. It's light till 9 o'clock now, so we're just not seeing as many people in here in the evening. Friday night is a little different. I think Friday is more kind of a family night. People come in, they bring their kids, and we got cornhole, and that brings in a decent
Yep.
crowd. So
So do we just change the hours or do we need to make a motion on that?
I'm of the belief that that falls under the preview of running the operations,
Yeah.
day-to-day
Me
operation. So that's,
Me too.
that to me doesn't warrant a board vote. It's more of a notification. Here's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And here's the supporting data with that. If we have an issue with it, we can address it then, but, you know.
I agree. And safe to assume our memberships have gone up now that we're requiring everybody to have a membership here that's gonna play cornhole and exercise and all those kind of things, or at least the silver sneakers.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've got a lot of silver sneakers and a lot of the one pass.
Okay.
More people are joining.
What is the one pass? I apologize.
It's just like silver sneakers. It's just a different
So it's funded,
insurance
it's
company.
funded by somebody's insurance.
Yep, funded through
Okay.
insurance. Yep. So, so yeah, and Janet's been trying to go in and clean up the list. Well, because she's entering everything in. So once she gets everything entered in, we'll have a better readout of how many actually are, because we're going off a spreadsheet and we literally have to count, you know, like how many are on there. And when they are expired, she marks it like red, but we're still kind of have to manually counting everything. So that's why I always say I have a rough estimate of how many, because we could have miscounted something. But once we get that gym master, we should just be able to print a report. I could be like, this is exactly how many we have. It'll show, it's gonna be great.
Not to delay or belabor the point. So silver sneakers, the people's gym membership is augmented by their insurance company. One pass, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Are they-
We're gonna
so-
check every month?
So do we know which insurance companies cover that? And where I'm going with this is it widely known in the county that, hey, this service is available, i.e. there's a lot on my insurance that I didn't have a clue was
Right.
covered.
Right.
So if we knew what insurance companies cover Silver Pass and which ones cover One Pass, if we were able to notify people that said, hey, you may not even know you have this benefit, and that can improve.
Yeah, I've never heard of
Membership.
So I got brought up in here.
And it's not just seniors. I think
That's
some
my
people,
point.
yeah.
I believe Silver Sneakers we talked about a while ago was Medicare and Humana is the one pass. I think that's what.
Okay, well
You're right.
let's find out what it is, and then find some way of communicating that
Just put an
to the
article.
community, right? To the community as a whole that says, hey, by the way, if you're covered under these programs, you may be covered for a membership. And I don't know if if they pay a portion of it or if they pay the whole thing, but
They pay basically by the time that they come in per month. So. Janet will know all that. I
Okay.
asked her and then, yeah, we can get it out there.
That it?
That's it for me.
Moving on, treasurer's report.
the millage funds came in a couple weeks ago. All those have been installed into our accounts. We have 1.213686 in the various accounts. Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Any more discussion on the treasurer's report? We need a roll.
Okay. Sorry. Ken Kozel,
Approved.
Leroy,
Approved.
Ryan,
Yes.
Dolores,
Yes.
Karina,
Yes.
Mike, absent. Roland,
Yes.
Kelly, yes.
Motion approved.
Secretary's report, I was not here at the last meeting, Mike took the minutes. I will send the email as we discussed earlier, about corrections to it. That's all that I know about it. I will also mention, there's, typos and things that will be fixed, but I'll just send the email.
Thank you. Committee reports, do you have any committees that need to make a report?
Fine, you need to first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What do you want me to do now?
We need someone to make a motion to accept the secretary's report.
Okay.
I motion we accept Secretary's report.
Sorry. Any more discussion on that? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Yeah, so. Hold on, man. Oh, Ronald's gonna leave here at 11, so. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Does any committees have any reports they want to talk about?
I don't, she just said the basketball thing is on its way, so.
Perfect.
That's all I have.
No committee reports? Nope. Okay, very good. I think we need a motion on that. Unfinished business. Second made a unilateral decision without board vote to move forward on the Alcona County School Agreement, allowing the school employees the opportunity to use the Sunrise Center facility. So there was a bunch more discussion on that. How many school employees have we had so far?
I'm not 100% positive.
Okay.
I don't think it's that
As
many.
a guess, is it like closer to 5 or 10 or?
I would say under 10.
Very good.
I know that's one thing Mike was worried about, that like, Navy training like 100 people and their families, Mike, it's not their family.
No,
Nope.
and it's
Yeah.
just the employee.
Right.
If that was a question that was asked the other day, actually, did it include the families? And I'm like, no, the family would have to get a separate membership. Only the school employee would get the paid membership by the school. It's just like any of the other, like the EMS or, any of them that.
Well, it's also set up that, like, we can look at it like after a quarter or something like that, and
Right.
go from there. So it's not like a permanent thing.
No. And we have no data to begin with to know
Right,
until
so
we
that-
do this, and then we could go back to Dan O'Connor and say, this is how many employees came in, this is how often they use the gym, because I don't think if an employee comes in 2 times a month, he's gonna wanna pay a membership for them, so this will build the data that we need to work with the school.
Thank you for that. We touched on the.
But
Go ahead.
why is this on here? So I mean, we sound like we're debating the merits of whether we have the program or don't have the program, and that's a moot point because it sounds like we have the program. So if the comment is that's what I was getting at. So debating the merits of offering this program is water under the bridge. We've already approved it. The only thing that should then be addressed is we cannot, as a board, unilaterally, or an individual on the board unilaterally make a position and do something that requires full board approval and or just a executive director's decision. So I mean, we don't need to keep beating this horse. Let's just state it. Decisions that impact the operations of this facility, we have to understand, is it under the purview of the executive director, or is it something that requires board approval? And if it requires board approval, nobody on the board has the unilateral ability to make that decision without bringing it to the board.
Well, I'll be honest, I was gonna make the decision, I was gonna make the executive decision because it had been going back and forth for over 2 months. And nobody was really giving a yay or nay. And finally Dan's like, well, if I don't get an answer, we're not doing it. And I've been working with the school for 3 years since this place has been built of trying to have a relationship with the school. So, I mean,
So why can't we make a motion today and either accept it or deny
It's
it?
already done.
Already done.
Yeah. This was on here for no other reason than to say, well, I guess I don't know why it's on here, but I'm using it as an example to say, yes, it cannot be a one-person decision if it's a board decision. If it's not a board decision, it flows back down to Wendy's discretion on how to run the business. So, I mean, there's nothing to vote on, there's nothing to whatever, it's just a statement, but let's not, what I don't want to do is rehash the merits of the program or not, which is kind of where we were starting to delve.
All right, looks like the gym membership and the one pass we've just talked about, the executive director's report. Thank you for that. As far as the Cole Legacy membership, I had mentioned that we're gonna have to make a committee, policies and procedures, or a personnel, policies and procedures, and work on the criteria of people and or businesses that may meet that set of criteria. So I don't have an answer on anybody getting a legacy membership or a free membership, as whatever you want to call it yet. We don't have any updates on that yet. So
Okay,
And
so,
we'll call Les Thomas, so.
but
Sure.
here's what I'd like to change on there.
Sure.
We jumped to the conclusion, i.e. a membership. What we're to discuss is, how do we recognize individuals in the community or businesses in the community that have gone out of their way to support this operation? How we recognize that, be it a membership, be it, we honor them in a parade, and now I'm being facetious, or we do something else. That comes after. How do we come up with a criteria-based decision that says, I want to recognize these people, because you know what? Everybody does this, but this group or this organization or this individual performed at this level. How do I recognize them?
Yep.
What we do for that recognition needs to be discussed later. And I mean, like I said before, it could be a plaque with a bronze tag on it. It could be a membership. We don't know, but so when I see stuff, get rid of the name, get rid of membership. It is, how do we discuss, or how do we recognize individuals and or companies that go above and beyond in supporting the functioning of this operation, the functioning of this group?
couldn't agree more. Would you like to head up a committee? Get that solved?
It could be considered appropriate, fall under finance.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I don't have an issue. It's a 15-minute discussion that comes up with a criteria and then roll it out. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it doing it under the finance committee, but
So you think that if I get that information from Les Thomas?
yeah,
and then-
that's a great starting point.
Yeah,
And then,
okay.
we can cut and paste from there.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you for that. Anything else on unfinished business? I don't see anything.
I have a couple of
Go ahead.
questions though.
Sure.
If we're gonna charge everybody to come in the door and use the gym and the fitness room and all that, and then the ladies that was sitting here, they pay us a certain amount of money, then their client pays them. But their client also has to buy a membership. Do we have a guy in our gym that shows the people how to use that weightlifting machine and all that?
No.
We don't have?
No.
I thought we did have.
We
Okay.
have no one on the payroll, no one under our insurance waiver or anything like that that shows.
But don't we have an individual that goes in there?
we have Janet and Brielle, who if somebody comes in and asks how to use stuff,
Oh,
or, I mean, they will go down and show.
They're an
people-
employee though,
They're
right?
employees.
Yeah.
I have
Or
those people.
you
I thought
know.
you meant like somebody showing you how to train.
Right,
trainer or
and that
something.
is what I meant.
there's the personal trainer who has a gym membership. And because our insurance company said it would be best to contract them in instead of hiring one because of the liability. So he's got his own liability insurance. He has all of that, the credentials. He pays us a percentage. He pays us every other week a percentage of what he charges his people, because some of them are different. So he sends us a list of the name of the people, how much he charged them, then we get our percentage and we get a check every other week.
So it's pretty much the same as these three ladies.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is our person that's doing that weightlifting thing, are they paying that man? Or are we paying that man?
They're paying. We're not paying him, no. So say I'm the personal trainer and you want to come in because you've had some physical therapy or whatnot, and you want to come in and learn, work with me to do some stuff, whatever it may be. I have a gym membership, you have a gym membership. You're paying this guy above and beyond because he's showing you different things personally. He's sitting and working out with you. So he's personally training you on how to do stuff. Or if you're trying to lose weight or whatnot, then we get a percentage of what he makes.
So it's the same then as these ladies. It's all, okay, that's what I was wondering about.
I didn't know we had that kind of a person officially, unofficially. I didn't know we had that. That's a good,
It's different because sometimes he's got a couple older people, he's got a couple middle age. I know, I mean, just from looking at the thing, he's got a couple younger kids, you know, for yeah.
Sure.
So
No,
he's just, yep. So it's
Good.
I think it varies of what he does
Oh, of
and
course.
the time he spends with them. So
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
One other question, how are we coming on that property in Harrisville? I think we should appoint one person to dig into that and get it done and over with. And if we have to sell it for $10, get out from under it.
Taxes are more than that, but I had a guy look at it the other day. He's not interested. He can't build on it. So.
No, you can't.
So,
It's worthless. So instead of us paying taxes over and over and over again, I think we should just give it to the city.
You can't just give it.
Well, let's charge them $10 then. They probably
You
don't
can't
want.
charge them. They can offer to pay you, but you can't charge them.
We'll make an offer.
Well, they probably don't want it either.
Okay, so
How long-
let's back up to the beginning. So we sold this property to
X.
an individual or individuals. Did we sell it on a land contract?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we hold a land contract that these people are no longer paying on. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, have we foreclosed on it?
No.
Okay, well then we can't do anything until that process takes place. I can't sell something that I don't own anymore.
I thought it was, didn't it come back to
They
us?
came back.
Yeah.
But how did it come back to us?
He just stopped paying. They didn't want it
That's
anymore.
right.
That's not how that works. It's no different than a bank. If you quit paying your mortgage, the bank just doesn't get the property back. They have to foreclose it. We are, in essence, the bank. We have a land contract that we sold that property on. Just because the guy quit paying, you know, there were legal things we should have done at that point. And again, if we read the land contract, I'm sure it has something in there that says if you miss X number of payments, this is what's going to happen next. $5 says we didn't do any of that. This is what's going to happen next. So now we need to pull that out and do this is what happens next. And if that means we now have to go foreclose on it, we got to do that before you can sell it. I mean, we can't sell something we don't own. But then, yes, I would absolutely concur with you. We need to get this off our books.
Yeah.
And then we need to identify what are the ways we get it off our books. And again, it could be a sale, gift it, whatever. But yeah, from a financial liability, you know, I don't know what we pay in taxes every year on it,
A
but
lot. You
okay,
don't even wanna know.
okay. So yeah,
Didn't Harrisville say it's worth
Yeah.
Doesn't
hundreds of
matter what they
thousands
say.
of dollars?
It's irrelevant.
Could we,
so to that point, because you know, we'll talk about it and we'll walk out that door at 11 o'clock and nothing will happen. We'll come back next month at
And
10
I'll ask the
o'clock.
same
and
question.
you'll ask the same question and there'll be zero input. So
How do
what
we-
are we gonna do differently to prevent that?
How do we start a foreclosure file? Do we know?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Somebody needs to own that
Okay.
and follow that through.
would you be willing to do that?
I was thinking of you.
I wouldn't have any idea where to even
I
start.
just,
That's
I'm,
something we could-
yes, I will take the point on this.
Good.
And be able to give some sort of a report by next meeting. But this highlights we can't be going off rogue and doing things.
Is that something that could maybe?
Yes,
look
that's
at?
exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay,
So
I can
I
pull the
will,
contract out.
and I'll get with you and we'll reach out to Matt to say, what legally are we supposed to be doing as next steps?
Okay.
And then execute.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you for that.
Don't let Dolores talk anymore.
Anything else, Dolores?
Well, let's see. No, that property, I was against buying it in the first place, but I was, there was only two of us and so it didn't go over. They bought it.
Gotcha. Okay, where are we?
Public comments.
Well, if we're still on open business, I had a note that I had read something from Craig Johnston about a rideshare program, or there was something the county,
Oh,
Was-
NEG,
whatever it was, but it,
non-emergency medical transportation.
okay. So I don't know where that ended.
It's very, very
Sable had it.
beginning stages.
Okay. The reason I bring it up is you look at something like that and my mind went to, wow, that seems like that'd be a natural
Sure, sure.
service that the ACCOA should be supplying to the senior community of Alcona County.
We served it for a while, but it was what do I want to say, misappropriated. And we lost
Right.
$178,000.
So I'm only bringing it up to, I don't know if you've got additional detail on what actually the program is.
I said,
Okay. Can you just give me the 50,000 foot view?
this concept is old. About 3 years ago, Scott Rice, who is our emergency medical person, was working with some other gentlemen, and they decided that the coastal, Iosco, Alcona, and Alpena are the three primary ones involved. That we would attempt to do this. The funding is, a grant is being submitted early in June to the Michigan Health Endowment Fund. For, I believe, either $750,000 or $780,000, a 2-year grant. The big question is, well, places like Alcona Health Center, the hospital, other places, medical places, they have significant lost revenue from the standpoint that they have an appointment and it's a no-show. So that's a waste of money for them. That's an inappropriate use of money for them. So it's important to develop that relationship so that they will say, oh, we would lose $40,000, well, let's say $400 in the appointment. But you, NMEEG, have gone forward and gotten that patient here. And for that, we are appreciative and we will pay you. Now, Medicare has said they will move forward with this, but we all know how fast they move. And so that needs to be further developed. And if and when that financial link can equal the cost, then yes.
So is it transport for non-medical situations
Yes.
only, or is
Yes.
it also transport that says, you know, I got a senior that is independently living, they don't have means of transportation, and they need to go to,
That's exactly.
but so it would, but outside of medical stuff, so i.e.
No,
trips into Alpena for shopping,
No,
or,
no.
okay, so it's
Strictly
strictly
medical.
medical.
strictly medical. Along with, although they're looking at, if we get the grant, we're looking at activating it either January or February of the coming year.
Mhm.
So, and then
Okay.
to either look to see how it goes. Hopefully it floats.
I did talk to Thunder Bay too about this being like a pickup point for shopping and stuff. It is still, even with insurance and whatnot, it's really costly.
Oh, it is. Very
Like the out of pocket expenses, I mean,
For the individuals that use it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Okay.
You had earlier in the agenda, if I may interrupt, reduced hours, and I believe, did you determine that that is an executive director's decision? It is, okay, just wanted to be sure.
All right. Ronald did have to leave. He does have a very important thing he has to get to, so he is excused at this time. I don't know if you need to make a note of that, maybe. All right. I think we're moving on to public comment for the second time today, 2 minutes per person. Please state your name and where you're from. Would anybody in the audience like to be there? No one? No one? Okay. I guess we'll close public comment. Any additional comments from, go ahead. Any additional comments? Director's comments or anything like that? Anything? I don't have anything to add.
I probably could have said it earlier in the committee reports, but
Okay.
is the committee who's doing bylaws, have they been working on that? Cause I haven't heard any updates on that.
That
Yeah.
would be me, and we have not gotten together yet.
People just grant in the community, so.
Okay.
What committees, I mean, we don't even really have any committees besides we got a fundraising committee and a finance committee.
And a few months ago, we had, somebody brought up the bylaws again, and Ryan said, why don't you had that up? So I'm.
What is the name of that?
The
committee?
bylaws committee, because we were supposed to go over the bylaws, and it's.
And
Would that be under policies and procedures?
I would think so.
Yeah,
So
what, Ken?
I don't know that it would policies, procedures. I'm struggling with a committee called policies and procedures. Policies and procedures should be under the purview of an executive director running a business. Here's the policies, here's how we function. Bylaws is the bylaws overarching the
Right.
entire thing. That's where I would say that's here. Policies and procedures is a day-to-day functioning
I agree.
thing. I guess what I would like to see, and you're starting to hear it from Wendy, is what is the list of committees? Who's on them?
right.
When do they meet? Any of
Who's in
that?
charge of it?
Yeah.
Right. They're supposed to be, according to the bylaws, they're supposed to be appointed by the president. And we've always had a list of the committees, the chairperson for each committee, and who's on that committee.
I guess.
So
I would
if there's
say
something that comes up, then I can reach out and say, hey, we need to get together for this or that, or we always had, well, we really didn't have a fundraising committee. We had a building committee, which we don't really, I don't know. Maybe we need to still do a building committee with all of the stuff going on with those
So
bungalows.
why don't we just make a statement that says by next meeting, let's have a list of existing committees, who's on them, who chairs them, when they meet, and then any proposal that's, or we can discuss it next month, that says, here's the list, here's additional ones we may think we need.
So I do know the bylaws say that I'm supposed to appoint people, but I think that's kind of. What if you can't do it? What if you don't have the time to be on 3 different committees? I mean, I'll make the time because I
Well,
have to
then
be,
you
but
gotta work with the board and ask that, or
But
see
ask the
who
volunteers.
fits in what committee,
Let's start walking before we run. So let's start with, get a list of what exists today. And again, the committee, who's the chair, who's on it, and when do they meet? After that, we can say, we're deficient in this area and we think we need coverage. And so then we can say, hey, let's have committee XYZ. I would think that we want to, be judicious and limit the number of committees. I mean, we can't have a committee on what color shoes to wear in the gym, although that's
Right.
seems to be a perennial issue. I'll be facetious. So let's start with the list, and then how do we augment that list going forward?
I would suggest a fundraising, finance, the bylaw, the personnel, and a building
Yep.
committee.
So let's see what we have, and then add to it. So you've got a
Well,
list
we
of.
only have, right now, we have the fundraising, a finance, and Kelly is the only one on bylaws. And then you and Dolores were previously on a personnel committee. I don't know
Yeah, that has not,
if that's,
that has not met. We have not met for anything for personnel.
right.
I was in personnel and I had also had said, if you wish, I would be happy to work with bylaws.
all right, so we can have a list together sooner than later. You get working on that. Any other comments from the board? Anything else? Anyone got anything? Nothing? I entertain a motion to adjourn at this time. A motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Any other comments before we adjourn?
So, Chairman?
Okay. All those, by saying aye for adjournment?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned at 10:58. Thanks for all the hard work, Rick. I appreciate it.
One man cap.
Yeah.
Have a contact.
Attorney we have, and what is the situation, how we handle it.